everybody, my name's Sarah and I'm from Derby County Community Trust. So today we're going to be making a nice healthy lunch, rainbow couscous. So you can see I've got all my different colours of my vegetables already set out here. Now, before we get started, could I just ask that you've got your hair tied back and you also have short sleeves on if possible. Roll them up if you haven't. And also I've just washed my hands outside, especially at the moment, but all the time it's really important that we have nice clean hands before we start any food preparation. So I'm just going to put my hand sanitizer on now, get them all nice and clean. So today we are not going to be doing any cooking, but we are going to be using some boiling water. So again, please make sure you've got an adult with you and you are nice and safe. So just let that dry. Just going to run through the ingredients that we've got here. So we're thinking about our nice colourful 5 a day, getting as much fruit and vegetables as we can, but in a really nice flavoursome dish. So I've got my yellow pepper and my red pepper here again. I think I've mentioned before, peppers are absolutely fabulous. Loads and loads of vitamin C in there, actually 4 times more vitamin C than oranges. So they're brilliant if you can get those in. I've got my red onion, just because I like red onions, nice and crunchy, and again they're going to make the dish look really colourful. A couple of tomatoes, some spring onions, which are great, we're going to chop those down. We've got some sweet corn there as well, and I've got a little bit of parsley from my garden. Don't worry if you haven't got any fresh parsley, dried works just as well, but we're going to use that at the end. So that's our vegetables that we've got there that we're going to be using, and to get us started we need our couscous. So couscous is an absolutely great food. You can buy it from the shop, and I've actually managed to get some whole wheat here, whole wheat couscous. So really good for keeping us full, great as an energy food as well, and really versatile. There's loads and loads of things you can do with this. So today we're just putting our our vegetables in it, but if you wanted to adapt this at home, it's lovely with a little bit of tuna in it, some ham. You can put lots and lots of different things with it. So have a think. Create your own recipe, because we'd love to see those if you wanted to send them in. So I'm just going to put my couscous there. I have put some in a bowl already. There's about 250 grams here. And another great thing about couscous is that it's one of those foods that you don't have to be too precise about measurements. So I've put a couple of fist sizes in. A fist size for our energy food is a good portion size. So this is dried at the moment, so there's a couple of cups in there, and when it's ready we can have a look and make sure we all get the right portion size. So I'm just going to put that there, and what I've got here is, this is where you need to be very careful. I've just boiled a kettle, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour my boiling water in, because this soaks to cook. So I'm just putting a little bit of water in there. I have got my spoon, and I'm just going to give that a little bit of a stir. I don't know if you can see in the bowl there. Please be very careful when you're doing this. I've just put a little bit in there, and it actually soaks into the couscous. And I can see already that it needs a little bit more water. So I'm going to just add a little bit more. All the exact measurements are on the website, on our recipe card. So feel free to follow those. But like I say, sometimes when we're cooking, it's quite nice to have a go and see how it all works. So again, I'm just giving that a little bit of a stir. You can see it's gone a little bit fluffing up slightly, but I'm going to give it a little bit of a stir now and just add a tiny bit more water. And then I'm going to put the plate on it and leave it almost to steam in the water there. So just give that another stir. There we go. Can you see how it's fluffing up slightly? So that is the good bit there. Knock off the last bits, and what I'm going to do is pop that spoon there, and I'm just putting a little plate on it so it can steam. So I'm just going to leave that there for a moment just so it's cooking away. So the next thing is our vegetable prep. Now this is the really good bit, because we just need a big bowl. We're going to throw everything in, get all those flavours in, and then add our couscous at the end. So I'm just going to put the bowl just there, and then I'm going to start with my peppers. So move these over here. So again, I've got my safety knife today. Please be very careful when you're using knives at home. I'm going to use my crab hand today. So this is a way that we can keep nice and safe and make sure that we don't cut our fingers. So if you wanted to hold your hand like that, get our knife, and I'm just going to slice down the middle of my pepper here. Hear it crunching. There we go. I have given these a little wash before I got started as well, which is good, just in case there's anything on there. So just pull the seeds out here. There we go, put that plate there. So I'm going to pull them out, give them a little shake, get the most of the seeds out, and then I'm going to give them a bang on the table and just get those last bits of seeds out. just scrape those off, keep them out of the way so they don't get in our food. Pop that there. And again with peppers, nice and easy to cut. So I've cut it in half. I'm just going to give it a squidge down on the table with my hand and turn it over. And that is going to make it easier for me to cut. So I'm just going to cut this into strips, and then I'm going to put it into little cubes and throw it into my bowl. So there we go. You can see I've missed a seed there, so I'm going to get that one out in a moment. So keep cutting. It doesn't matter if these aren't precise, nice and chunky is great, it just depends on your own flavour. So I've left a little bit of white in there, so I'm just going to get that out. And here, put it onto my plate. There we go. So chop these up, make sure they're to your taste. So nice and chunky. I like to be able to taste my peppers, so I've got lots of chunky bits in there. But again, it's one of those recipes where you can just play around with it, put in what you like. You don't have to put the peppers in, you can put different coloured peppers in if there's different things that you like at home. And again, it's a lovely cheap meal, so it's great to use up things that you've got in the fridge. So raw mushrooms if you like them, all sorts of different things. I know we like it in our house with some tuna, tin tuna, which is great. Fish is brilliant for us, especially in a tin if it's just in the water. So rather than the brine, which is quite salty, you can pop tin tuna in, tin salmon, and also feta cheese is lovely as well. Cubes of feta cheese in there, it goes really well with the tomato. So lots of different things. So have a think about how you could adapt this recipe. Make it your own, put the things in that you like, but as long as you're getting lots and lots of vegetables in there, that's great. So again, just going to chop out the white bits here. There we go. And make our chunks. There we go. So nearly there with that one. I'm going to put lots and lots of pepper in here because, like I say, it's my favourite. And pop it into the bowl. But this is a really good one because you'll see all the colours going into there. So nearly there. Oh, got a piece escaping there. Pop that back in. I'm going to put that piece over there and just drop it into my bowl. There we go. So everything just gets thrown in. Okay, you can see lots of different shapes in there already, which is nice. So the next thing I'm going to put in is my yellow pepper. So again, just cut it in half. Please be very careful with your knife. Remember your bridge hand. I'm just going to pop that one open. There we go, like that. I'm just going to put half of this one in. There we go. But please feel free to do a whole one at home. There we go. Just get all the seeds out. Pop those to one side. There we go. I'm going to just cut it in half and then squish it down, my favourite bit. There we go. It's easier to cut on the inside because the skin is quite tough. So if you do it on the inside, it just means that you're not having to saw through the skin, and it just makes it cut a bit easier for you. So again, nice and chunky. There we go. Ooh. In it goes. And I'm just going to throw this into my bowl. There we go. So again, if you've got a bit more time at home, you can be a bit more precise. If you wanted strips in there as well, totally up to you, whatever works for you. This is the great thing about this, you can make it your own. It's just with cooking sometimes, it's just trial and error, finding what you like, and making sure you get all that good stuff into your diet. So again, put that in front of me and throw that in. So you can see all the colours beginning to come out there. So in they go. So next thing for a little bit of colour is our red onion. Again, our crab hand. So what I'm going to do, hopefully this knife will cut through here. There we go, a little bit tough. If you're using a sharp one at home, just be careful. There we go. Just pull that in half. There we go. I'm just going to put half in today and just pull the skin off. I think I'll just cut the end off there. So let's hope that, like I say, the safety knives, they are good, but they're not quite as sharp as the normal ones. There we go. That works. So I'm just going to peel off the outer edge there. There we go. So again, if you have trouble with onions when you're cutting them and they make you cry, I know sometimes I've been practicing this, so hopefully I'll be okay today. If you run them under a tap at this point, then a cold tap, it will actually stop you crying, which is really good. So fingers crossed I should be okay today. Red onions are slightly less strong than the white ones, so it's not quite as bad. So again, I quite like mine chunky, but again, it's totally up to you how you want these. So there we go. So I'm just going to chop these up. and getting ready to put them into my bowl. There we go. So you can see all the colours we're getting there in there already. So we've got our yellow pepper, our red pepper, our red onion, again different colours. Really important that we get our 5 a day in. So with this dish you can see we've got our 2 different coloured peppers, we've got our red onion, we've got our sweet corn that's going to go in there, and our spring onions. So we're virtually there for a 5 a day. So if you just wanted to add one more thing in, and as well the tomatoes, think about all that good stuff that you've got in there. So I've got a few big bits there. Again, my safety knife doing a good job here, chopping it all up, going in there. But again, please remember with the knife, just be really careful. Okay, so in we go. I'm going to get rid of that big bit and that big bit, so that's plenty. Perhaps if you're at home you can decide if you want as much onion as this or less onion, because we are going to be putting in our spring onions as well. So all into the bowl. There we go. In it goes, and I'm just going to use my big spoon here just to give it a little stir so you can see how we're getting on. So that is looking really nice, all those different colours in there. So just pop that there. So we are going to go on to our sweet corn now. So I have got my sweet corn from a tin. You could use frozen sweet corn as well. In a tin, it's fabulous, really good price. Also, it's not in any salt or sugar as well. So it's one of those really handy vegetables that you can have in the house, ready to put with meals. So I'm just going to throw that in. You don't need to cook it from a tin as well. You can warm it up if you want for the meals, but it's nice in here cold because the couscous will warm everything up. So we've got our sweet corn in there. Give it a little stir. All those colours, and it smells delicious actually. Smell all those. So in it goes. So onto our tomatoes. So again, I've given these a little wash. Tomatoes are great, they go with so many things. So I'm just slicing that one in half, and again that one's trying to escape, and over here, and again I'm going to make mine quite chunky. Just throw them in. I'm going to cut them in half and then half again, because these are all just going to get thrown in. And this is the great thing, this is why I love this recipe, because you just throw everything in. It sort of makes itself in a way. So again, it's brilliant to have when it's warm, when we're going to serve it in a moment. And then if there's any left over, once it's cooled down, you can pop it in the fridge, pop it in a little tub. Great to take out with you as part of a packed lunch. You can have it with so many different things, with salads, on its own. Lovely, really, really good. So if you did want to make more of this, it is a great thing to keep in your fridge, so you've got something really healthy to snack on. There we go. So I'm going to pop that in there. There we go. And as you can see, the tomatoes are just giving it a little bit of liquid as well, giving it that flavour. So in it all goes. Look at all those colours in there. Look, you can just see how good that's going to taste. There we go. I'm just going to pop one tomato in today, and then onto my spring onions. So that's why I just put half my red onion in, but it's totally up to you with taste. So spring onions, really, really nice thing for a nice flavour. But a nice little thing about spring onions is, I'm just chopping the ends off here. I don't know if you can see. I'm actually going to save these, and I'm going to put them in a dish of water, and it's really interesting because you can see these will actually regrow. So if you put them in, see what happens, because you'll regrow in your vegetables. So I'm going to put those to one side and take those home with me. So just chopping the stalks off there, and I'm just going to peel the outside off. Comes off really easily. Pop that over there, and the same with the other one. Just peel the ends off, and fingers crossed. I'm going to chop these nice and small because they are a slightly stronger flavour, and we don't want it to be too overpowering. I'm just going to actually swap my chopping board over there so it's not too slippy. There we go. So as you can see, I'm just doing both of them there and just putting them, and you can see they're going into little rings now. I'm being really careful of my fingers here. So there we go. So that is going to be really nice. We're going to put those in. I'm not putting those really green bits in. The flavour is quite strong, but they do go into the little rings. I don't know if you can see here. So you'll get lots and lots of flavour in there. So in they go into the bowl. Give it another good mix. There we go. So you can see we've got all the different textures, all the different flavours in there. We've got some chunky bits, we've got some smaller bits, so that's going to be really nice when we eat that. So giving it a good mix. Just before I carry on, I'm going to have a look at my couscous. So there we go. you can see it's fluffed up. And I'm just going to go through it with a fork. Oh, missing a bit there. And it's gone a beautiful texture. It's still nice and warm, but we just want to use a fork is probably best because it actually gets all the lumps out of the couscous and makes it nice and fluffy. So can you see how it's fluffing up there? And it actually smells really nice. So couscous is one of those foods like pasta and rice that often it's quite easy to make too much of it, and I know I'm guilty of that in my house. So when we're thinking about doing this is going to be quite a big batch here. When we're thinking about this, when we're measuring it out, it is a good idea to think about how many people that we're actually going to be serving it for. So I know there's 4 people in the office today that are eagerly looking forward to their lunch. So we are going to work on about 4 people. So 1 portion size of energy food, carbohydrates, which couscous is, like our potatoes, our noodles, our bread, is a fist size for us. So obviously everybody's fist is different, so just have a little look at your fist, compare it to the person next to you and have a look. So for the adults in the office here today, I'm going to use my spoon and use that as a rough guide. So if I just hold it up, you can see perhaps a little bit more for an adult, so I'm going to drop that in and a little bit more. There we go. Do the same again, because with foods like this and rice and pasta, it can be sometimes quite easy to have perhaps a little bit too much, and we want to just keep ourselves healthy, so it's really important that we stick to our portion sizes. So I'm just going to add a little bit more in there. There we go, 1 more and a little bit more. Obviously with the vegetables in there, it's going to really make it a really filling dinner, so we don't want to put too much in. So again, I've put it all in. I'm going to give it a little mix round. Look at that, look how nice that looks, all the different colours. You can see how the couscous coats it as well. So that is lovely, it smells lovely as well, and it just looks really fresh and nice. It's really easy, like I say, you can put lots of different things in there. So just give that a good stir. There we go, in it goes. There we go, and you can see the couscous has all coated it. And the final touch is a little bit of homemade dressing. So just to finish it off, give it a little bit of tang. I have got a jam jar, just because I've got that at home. So any jar with a lid is brilliant because we're going to do a bit of shaking. So I'm just going to open that up. I've got some whole grain mustard. Again, you can play around with these, have a look, see what you think. But it's great if we can make our own dressings because we know what's in there and we can stick to our portion sizes with those as well. So whole grain mustard, a little bit of olive oil and some lemon juice. You can squeeze your own lemon juice. Just for ease today, I've got some in a jar. So what I'm going to do to start with is get my olive oil and just put a little bit in there. So I'm just going to put that in there. Not too much, because as well, if I make a little bit more, I can keep this in the fridge and add it to other things as well. So like my salad. So just put the lid on that one. Just get my spoon, put the whole grain in. This is a nice sweet mustard, so it's not too strong. If some of you are thinking, oh, mustard, I'm not too keen. This is a really nice flavour. So about a teaspoon, put that in, put the lid on there. And then just get my lemon juice, just put it in, there we go, just a few dribbles. Again, all the ingredients, all the recipes on the website, but sometimes just have a go, see what you think, and you can change things to your own taste. So get ready, hope the lid stays on, give it a good shake. How easy is that? There we go, and you can see, give it another little shake, there we go, so the oil and the ingredients have mixed together. Just going to give it a little bit of dribble on the top, all over, there we go, not too much, and then I'm going to save the rest of this and use it on a salad or next time I have this, so that will keep because of the oil. So just use my spoon, I'm going to work all that through, there we go, there we go. Oh, that looks really nice texture as well, there we go. And just to give it the finishing touch, like I say, this is from my garden. We've grown this from seed, which is really easy to do. But if you haven't got any fresh parsley, don't worry about it. Dried is great, or basil is also really nice on there, dried basil, because it'll bring out the taste of the tomatoes. So just giving it a little professional finish with a little bit of a garnish. So just cutting my bits of parsley, watching my fingers obviously, and just putting it over the top. There we go. I'm going to save a little sprig of that to add on top when I take this round the office for everybody to taste. So I'm just going to put it in a bowl so you can see. we go, getting my spoon and getting lots and lots of different colours in there. There we go. There we go. So finish it off with a sprig of parsley, and that is our rainbow couscous. So enjoy making it, and don't forget, we'd love to see any pictures that you when you finish making it, or any variations, anything else you think you'd like to put into the recipe. So thank you very much, take care and see you soon.